Hello, Cosmos. You may know who I am by either my face or my voice, but I'm Psycho Killer. I had been playing in Cosmos SMP for the past year of my life. For all of you who don't know, Cosmos SMP is a Minecraft Origins roleplay server with a custom plugins and a mod-free experience. I am now permanently banned as of July 17, 2023, and this is a history of Cosmos SMP. First, I was invited from another server. I should make this clear because that server was dying. And honestly, if I hadn't got invited, I probably would not be who I am now. Anyway, when I got invited with another player here, known as Fultro. Fultro was a member of the other server, and is generally pretty cool. So, me and Fultro, we joined Cosmos. It had a small but a reliable player base. I go off on my own, and I meet a guy named Squilliam, who I proceed to build a base with. We then crashed the RP system. Not really, it had internal flaws. And a bunch of people started grouping up. I was part of this group, and I also got invited with, I got adopted by another people. Two of those people are kind of important. Eventually, V2 is shut down to prepare for V3. Now, in all seriousness, the next portion will contain some very heavy topics, which are on screen now. Be aware of this. Now, before V2's end, some people formed groups, and I was part of one known as the Winged Alliance. However, I separated in V3 and ended up being one of the most influential characters of the version, essentially sparking an entire revolution after my character died. I don't have a clear idea of what everyone else was doing, but however, post-mortem, I made a new character who's way cooler. And he made up with this guy known as Joel McGill, a revolutionary businessman, and me, a weapons developer, turned out to be a pretty good place financially. And we made Licorum, the best alcohol producers who also helped the revolt against the POG, which, for you to know, was a tyrant peacekeeping group rather than causing conflicts than keeping peace. The main rulers consisted of a few people who I will refer to with their actual names. Sorry, not sorry. First, we have Kira, the queen of the Peacekeeper of Gaia. Then, there was Tav, who was a general or something, and they're generally irrelevant to the rest of lore and history for Cosmos. Remember when I said there'd be heavy topics coming? Well, there's the third leader of POG. In this segment, I will be talking about Priestess, otherwise known as Priestess of Zent. Priestess was thought for the longest time to be a very kind and considerate person, also considered prolific and in-depth with their lore writing for the server, which gave them the position on the platform to write world lores for the server. The first public oddity was on November 17th, 2022, when Priestess claimed that all origins were products of bestiality. This generally weirded out many of the members of the server and made everyone comfortable, including me. Then, a mere 11 days later, an internal message by a member of management was sent out stating that Priestess had been proven to be sexually harassing people within Cosmos and was soon permanently banned. All the claims have been proven true. However, I got involved in early April of 2023. At the time, this video had just started production. And it being a history video, I thought that Priestess was a fairly important Cosmos history. And then I remember that I had them added on Steam. What followed was a weird text convo in general. Throughout the interview, they had a fairly large ego in their former position, claiming that everything was a plot against them because Toxie, the server owner, hates them. They also claimed that messages were taken out of context and were said consensually in private with friends, and were used to ban without a chance to defend themselves. I should add, during the screening process for people to interview, people had panicked over me interviewing Priestess. However, I honestly didn't care, so I did it anyway. Throughout V3, it was known as Cosmos' renaissance for lore, gameplay, and origins, along with its community. However, an unfortunate decision occurred in which Toxie chose to shut down V3 to prepare for V4, which turned out to be pretty lame, and everything was erased. But a bit before then, Toxie introduced a new rank known as Member++, which caused controversy as Toxie said he wouldn't allow upgrading to avoid paying the $10 extra. This fact is now irrelevant, as upgrading is possible and it costs $10 due to Toxie upping the price on everything. V4 came around and was quite bleak. There weren't major stories, no villains, no worldwide issues, nothing aside from nation-on-nation disputes, and the First War of Cosmos, of course. I was barely involved as I got banned midway through. I also had multiple character deaths that ended badly for me, one of which sucked so hard that I kinda gave up for a bit. But when I returned from my ban, I came up anew and had realized that direct chaos is way better than slight meddling. So I decided to dig up the corpse of my old character and puppeteer him in front of a crowd, with the help of a few others, of course. Then I got pushed underground because some guy got a little bit angry at what I did and sent an assassin after me. Then I got banned for conspiracy to ruin RP, one of the more rare messages. But 3 months later, I returned. I had a person who vouched for me on management, and they considered to unban me. For V5, this time I was back in the saddle, and I had planned an entire underground facility which would have mirrored the game Portal. However, due to rather, in my opinion, stupid circumstances, in which I was complacent with a friend who did a bug who wouldn't have been punished anyway, this resulted in my permanent ban without appeal. And now, as I'm writing this, V6 is out with many things. Now, here's the thing. I do believe my ban is unjust. However, the purpose of this video is to catalog my skirmish through Cosmos and what events I witnessed, not to hold a grudge on the past. I genuinely think that if you, the viewer, haven't heard about Cosmos, that you should join it. It changed my perspective as a person and my skills as a writer. Do I regret what I did, or should I say what I didn't do? Yes, in a way. Cosmos was my outlet for creativity and free time, and there will always be a special place in my cold, decrepit heart, right next to my cat, for all of my memories and fun times on Cosmos. And hopefully, if someone considers me, I'd like to make that place bigger. See ya. However, that's not all. Because, simply put it, I have an overabundance of things that I couldn't find a place for in this video. So over the course of the remainder of the video will be a love letter to some of my favorite moments of Cosmos' community, people, and other events. For this portion, I had to go through my old laptop to find necessary screenshots of voice recordings and other images from Cosmos lore and events. This next part is entirely unscripted, I should add. So, first off, we have the giant Licorum sign in the end. Now, this was a work of many weeks of farming cactus, farming pumpkins, getting a lot of money in general. I'm gonna be honest, this is one of the largest projects and most expensive ones at that I've ever worked on in Cosmos, and possibly the most expensive one in Cosmos, aside from Cosmos itself. Next, we have Licorum in general. Licorum was a very rich place. We had to drain everything underneath it because we decided to build it in the middle of the ocean, which was a horrible idea because it got griefed constantly. Our gold was stolen, beacon was stolen. Gold was stolen too many times. Anyway, to Licorum's funds, we funded the Head Games. The Head Games was a fun little time in Cosmos where you had to hunt down a bunch of people, and it was pretty fun. However, it didn't really take off that much. However, someone did win. You know him as Yarum. Who doesn't love Yarum, am I right? Anyway, next we have one of my only unfinished projects, Sarajevo. It was a Sarajevo, whatever it is. Basically, I plan on making an entire note block musical right there in the middle of the ocean. Little issue is the fact that V3 got reset and never got to finish it. Next, we have the entirety of the Pog base, I guess. I went through there for an RP post once, and I took a lot of screenshots, and right now you're seeing what is on the inside of POG, was on the inside of POG, I should say, because it's been a year now, possibly 2, I don't know. Yeah, next we have Trimidal. Trimidal was a very interesting place because there's a lot of good architecture there. However, got taken over in the middle of V3. Kind of weird, not gonna lie. Anyway, next we have the ROG base. I don't know why I called it that, but it's here and it's actually looking kind of good. Man, I wish I had this back. Honestly, that looks so cool. I wish I still had that level of building. This was entirely improvised on a whim because we had to get a meeting done Alright, now here we have the time when someone had griefed my entire base by putting pumpkins everywhere on the inside. It sucked because I had to clean that all out. However, it was like some people with POG or something like that. I don't know, I forgot. Now up here we have a few images of my V4 bunker. Now, V4's bunker was a little bit of a effort of love, more so safety, I guess. You see, we had like a lot of things in here. It was really weird. An entire lower level, which I only have like a few early pictures of. I'm sure that someone out there has a world download for V4. It looks pretty cool though. Was pretty cool when I had it. Then I got banned for like trying to ruin RP or something like that. I forgot. Now I don't know if there's many pictures of this, but we built a Waffle House back in V3. If not, something else might be displayed here, like a cute cat, probably, if I had to guess. I don't know. It's nice. Look at that thing. Look at it go. So cute. Now, before Yarum was called Jod, he was called Catboy Yarum. Here's the first ever instance of him being called a catboy, to my knowledge. Now, there's only a few pictures of this. However, we have the inside of the Indigo LLC building. It was like a weird thing back in V3. Probably Warlord, if I had to guess. I don't know. Looked like more like corporate greed. Now, here's the thing. This picture here, it's of this new thing called portal stacking. I don't know if this still exists because I'm banned. I should ask Troll, but like, we'll find out. I mean, here's portal stacking. Basically, whenever you enter the Nether, it would spawn an entirely new portal and would not link to any other portal. Kinda sucked, not gonna lie, dude. Then, of course, we have my brewery. Now, this picture in particular is of the brewery. However, it's not the first one from V3. The first one from V3 looked different in a way. This one is from V4. It's a recreation, and it doesn't lead directly to an end portal. There we go. And to finish off the segment, I'm going to now start playing the only audio interview I got for this video. It is of me and Mr. Fultro #1. Please enjoy Sajko vs. Fultro 1. Now, to be entirely honest, we are going to be playing the entirety of the unedited interview. Nothing, and I mean nothing, will be cut out. This was recorded months ago. 9 months to be exact. Now, I don't know what's in this thing because I haven't listened to it in its entirety for a while, so you guys are gonna be the first people to hear it, I think, unless, you know, someone decides to edit this part out. Anyway, have fun! Alright, so, hello Cosmos SMP, I'm joined here with Fultro1. Now, this is probably going to be the only voice interview during this entire video, so be aware of that. Don't expect
Wait, I'm the only voice interview.
Yep, that's just because Fultro's that special. And also because he wouldn't do the interview if I didn't do it in voice. So, yeah, this is the easiest way. So, Fultro, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Hi, I'm Fultro1, Cosmos sucks, I never took part in it, I don't know why he's interviewing me.
Okay, so, basically, Fultro1, I'm gonna explain this, okay? So Fultro, he joined with me in about June, I'd say.
Worst mistake of my life, by the way.
Yeah, worst mistake of my life also, as I would say. But here's the thing. I'm gonna ask you a few questions. Fultro, what version did you join Cosmos in?
I think it was V2 when it was like sort of fun, you know?
Yeah, I prefer to when RP wasn't there. I also, how would you say RP was back when you joined?
Oh, it was stinky doo-doo fart, but from what I've heard, it's only gotten worse.
Okay, so how would you say it was? Okay, so how would you say it was in V3? Like, how would you say everything was in V3? Like, community-wise?
V3, I mean, it wasn't bad enough to where...
Hold on. How is things in V2 with community? Like,
I was pretty cool because you and me sort of single-handedly killed the RP system for a little
Oh
while.
yeah, I forgot
was
about
cool.
that. That existed. Anyways, on to V3.
The people were pretty cool.
Fultra 1 was an absolute god at PvP, I should mention. It still is. I couldn't even beat him.
Was? Well, yeah, because don't you have, like, a book as your mousepad?
No.
That's the confidence I like to hear. Anyways.
So, Fultro is one of the most liked members by the owner. He said Toxie himself has said Fultro 1 is amazing.
I was the best mod.
And he was also technically the best
champion
co-owner, which
of
we're gonna go over in
moderation.
a little bit too. So, aside from that, in V3, by the way, the whole co-owner thing is coming up soon. Make sure you stay watching for that. So basically, in V3, Cosmos was at its peak in players, community, and RP. Would you think so?
I wasn't really paying attention. I built a cool tower.
Okay, so how would you say RP was
cool.
in V3?
It sucked. It's never been good. It's always been atrocious, but it wasn't atrocious to the extent that it made me leave, which, well, I think we'll get to that.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that soon. Now, in your opinion, how was the community back in V3?
It was pretty cool. Except for Yarum, hate that guy.
Wow. You know he's gonna be seeing this
by
video,
the way.
right?
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Alright, so...
He did say elf a lot, that was a little weird.
Yeah, it was because of the Christmas event. Don't worry about it. So... What was your biggest thing about V3? What did you love about V3 the most?
I don't think I loved anything about Cosmos ever. Like ever, but
What about Ducky?
liked or tolerated. Ducky, he seemed pretty swag. I didn't talk to him much, but from what I could tell, he seemed pretty neato.
Yeah, he is pretty neato. He'll be actually going on this interview later today, so stay tuned for that also. We're having a
Ducky,
bunch of
you're
people.
cool.
What?
And I'm the only one with voice.
Okay, maybe
Alright, that's
not
cool.
the only one with voice, but...
Anyways, what's your next stupid question?
My next question... How would you say Cosmos was as a server back then, aside from RP and community? Like, actual game.
Is that a trick question or something?
No.
Short answer, I mean, I guess it was tolerable.
Okay, fair enough.
There were
Why
some
did
cool
you
people,
leave
but,
Cosmos, though?
like... I just couldn't take it anymore. The bullcrap was just piling on my back. And I was just like, you know what, I'm done.
Mind telling me what you think about administration?
Do you really want to hear my thoughts
Yes.
on the
Yes,
administration?
please. Remember, this is a completely informational video, and we do have opinions in here also. So, please feel free to give your
I
opinion.
mean, there were a couple good mods, but most of them, no sir. I'll just say that.
Oh yeah, we actually covered that one earlier in the episode.
Oh, I knew that. I'm up to date.
Yeah, we went over things in DMs. So, Fultro, what would you describe your experience IRP? What would you say you describe your IRP as?
Well, I've never been much of an RPer, and when I was forced to make a character, I just decided to hell with it and just made the dumbest character I could think of,
And it was...
and just wreaked havoc.
It was great. Okay, Von Fultro the First.
It was stupidly funny.
It was hilarious, especially when he became a rich tycoon. That was hilarious, also.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was funny, and like the thing about RP is like, don't take it seriously. A lot of people do.
Way too many
Like,
people
if
take
you
it
really
seriously.
want to have
It's okay
fun,
to have a serious tone in your RP, but don't take it
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah, like it's really not real. I'm sorry, guys. It's just not.
Okay, so final notes. What is your opinion on Cosmos as a whole?
These are pretty general terms. I was more expecting
it's pretty general. Actually, I'll ask you a quick question. What do you think of Jimmy? Because we're having him on later, so. Actually, after this, you're gonna see you're gonna see a few interviews of this.
Jimmy, I didn't talk to him much, but he always struck me as a funny idiot guy who would just break the rules.
He's pretty
for
funny.
the funny.
He actually got banned.
I mean, when he built a concentration camp, that was a little weird.
Yeah, it was a little bit weird, and we all know that, but it was funny.
Cool.
Wait, am I going to jail for
to a
saying
certain extent? Probably.
Okay. Well, soon we're gonna have Ducky and Toxie on the main owner guys. We're also gonna have a few more legacy people. Stay tuned for that, and we'll see you soon, I guess. All right. Fultro, any last remark? Any funny jokes? Any funny jokes?
Cosmos sucks. Don't play it. Just leave while you can. I've been the happiest I've ever been not playing on Cosmos. Don't you interrupt me. Cosmos sucks. I got a job. I'm happy now. Like, it's awesome. Leave and don't come back. That is my final verdict.
What you've just heard is the interview from Fultro I got well over 9 months ago. Now, a lot has changed since then, especially the fact that I never got to interview Jimmy. Jimmy's just a fun little guy. We love Jimmy. Anyway, let's see. Anything else? Oh yeah, thank you for watching if you watched this far into the video. Really appreciate you. Do check out Cosmos though. I really wish I could come back. Unlikely though, I guess. Anyway, you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you probably never again, because I don't need to make another one of these videos.